Parliament that has been a hostage to a month-long obstruction has finally resumed as the main parties have reached a consensus to address the persistent demand of main opposition CPNUML. In this edition of Kantipur News, we also have updates on the Lalita Niwas land grab scam, historic South Pole moon landing of Chandrayaan-3 and Nepali women's national cricket team's second win in the T20 International Series. Good evening, I'm Praram Vadahal. Let's begin with the main stories. A month-long parliamentary obstructions cleared after consensus on formation of an investigation commission. NET assigned the responsibility of furnishing a report as well. Preparations underway to register a case on Friday against those alleged of involvement in Lalita Niwas land grab scam. Pressure persists to investigate former prime ministers. India makes history as Chandrayaan-3 lands near Moon's South Pole. The massive moment bumps India up the space superpower list. And an all-round performance from Indu Verma helps Nepali Eve secure a 34-run win over Kuwait at the Women's 2020 International Series. Major political parties have reached an agreement to form an investigation commission to probe the gold smuggling case. And today's meeting of the major parties represented at the House of Representatives, held at the office of the Prime Minister in Singhadarbar, has decided to form an investigation commission to probe the gold smuggling case and furnish a report after required investigations. With the objective of removing obstructions at the federal parliament, the parties have decided to form the commission on the 22nd of September. The commission will begin its operation on the same day. First point of the agreement states that the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police, which is investigating into the case, will file cases against those involved. The second point states that the commission will hold free and fair investigations into the gold smuggling cases that have been repeating in Nepal in recent time. The commission will also assess the existing laws regarding curbing of smuggling and furnish its recommendations. Prior to this, the parties had reached a principal-level agreement for formation of the high-level committee. Opposition CPNUML had been obstructing the parliament meetings since the 26th of July with demands of formation of the high-level commission to probe the gold smuggling case. The ruling parties, who had initially remained firm in their stance of investigations from the government mechanism, have reached a consensus on the condition that the government investigations are not affected. Today's meeting was held after CPNUML chairperson KP Sharma Oli did not attend yesterday's meeting. Oli had attended today's meeting. Now, following the agreement to form a high-level commission to probe the gold smuggling scandal, the session of the House of Representatives has resumed. Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Purna Bahadur Khadka informed the session or the meeting of the resumption, saying that the obstruction had ended by joint effort from leaders of main parties and that the probe commission would be formed and investigation would begin after the 22nd of October. Speaking at the special hour of the session, Parliamentarian Yogesh Kumar Vatrai said CPNUML was in the favor of the parliament session, but the stalemate was a result of lack of effort from the ruling alliance. Parliamentarians from Maoist Center also drew the Home Minister's attention towards the unfortunate bus accident in Dhading. Parliamentarian Devendra Paudel urged for a solution to curb road accidents as such. Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson and parliamentarian Ravi Lamichhane expressed doubts on the transparency of the investigation commission. Now, during today's session, Speaker Devraj Kimire informed the suspension of parliamentarian Top Bahadur Rai Mazi. The next meeting of the lower house has been called for 1 p.m. tomorrow. Main opposition in Koshi Province, CPNUML, has filed a writ at the Supreme Court against the floor test cleared by the province's Chief Minister Uddhav Thapa, saying he breached constitutional provisions to garner majority. A hearing has been scheduled for tomorrow. During the floor test on 21st of August this month, Israel Mansouri, who had been chairing the Provincial Assembly session, had voted to hand Chief Minister Thapa the majority to sustain his government. CPNUML's lawmaker Revati Rawan Vandari has filed a writ at the Apex Court, saying the vote by the chair of the Assembly was illegal. In the meantime, CPNUML had boycotted the Provincial Assembly meeting today, saying Assembly Chair Mansouri has displayed indiscipline. At the beginning of the session, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party lawmaker Bhakti Prasad Sitaula had stood from his place as a form of protest followed by UMN lawmaker Tilak Kumar Menyangbo, who said the vote by Mansoori was against the constitutional provisions. Assembly Chair Mansoori then adjourned the meeting until further notice. Deputy Speaker Sirsana Dhanuwar had handed over the responsibility of the Assembly Chair to Mansoori, who is from Nepali Congress, citing the need to travel for health checkups. However, Mansoori had handed over the responsibility to Geeta Timalsina to vote for Chief Minister Thapa. Now, case of the Lalta Niwas land grab scam is to be registered at the Kathmandu District Court this week. The case is to be registered at the court after the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police furnished an almost 800-page long report at the District Government Attorney Office yesterday. The report prepared 4 years ago on this case was returned, citing failure in completing required procedures. However, cases on forgery and organized crime are to be filed this time around. Process for registration of a case at the Kathmandu District Court regarding the Lalta Niwas land grab scam has begun after the CIB's report was submitted to the District Government Attorney Office yesterday. Case will be registered following the study of the report. The District Government Attorney Office will conduct required study on whether it is necessary to file cases against those identified as the defendants by the CIB, whether those needing to be included as defendants have been mentioned or not, and the sections of laws used. If required, changes will be made in the report. According to the District Government Attorney Office, preparations have been made with the objective of registering the case at the Kathmandu District Court by Friday. Police have recommended filing cases on forgery and organized crime against 238 individuals involving 4 former ministers. However, the number of defendants may change following the study of the District Government Attorney Office. A total of 8 officials have been assigned the task of reviewing the report. The office has said that even the former prime ministers will be brought under investigation if required. After the case is registered at the district court, statements will be recorded from those already arrested. During the same time, statements will also be recorded from those at large if they present themselves at the court. Other legal proceedings, including the hearings, will then take place. As former Prime Minister Duo Baburam Bhattarai and Madhav Kumar Nepal and former Secretary Lilamani Paudel have not been included as defendants, the move has made fierce criticism from the public quarters. The CIB investigation has found irregularities in 143 ropenis, 6 annas, 3 paisas and 3 dams of land of Lalta Niwas in Balotar. When Madhav Kumar Nepal was the Prime Minister between 2066 and 2067 BS, Vijay Kumar Gachadar was the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Physical Planning and Construction, while Dambar Bahadur Shrestha was the Minister for Land Management. Meanwhile, when Baburam Bhattarai was the Prime Minister in 2069 BS, Chandradeep Joshi was the Minister for Land Management. While then ministers and officials have been included as defendants in the investigation of CIB, hesitating to record statements from then Prime Ministers is a clear evidence of pressure from the government. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people in several provinces why has the government shown leniency towards leaders engulfed in large-scale corruptions. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
एउटा नेतालाई समात्दाखेरि सबैको पोल खोल्ने कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि ती ठुला नेताहरूलाई भ्रष्टाचारको दायरामा ल्याउन नसकेको
गोप्य कुराहरू पनि सार्वजनिक भएर अब नराम्रो सूचना प्रवाह हुन्छ भनेर त्यस्तो कारबाही नगरेको
आफ्ना पनि मान्छेलाई बचाउनको लागि
राज्य सत्ताको बागडोरको चाहिँ दुरुपयोग गरिरहेको अवस्था छ
सबैको मिली महत्त्व छ अनि कसरी ढाकछोप गर्नको लागि एक बनेका छन्
सरकार स्वयं यसमा लिप्त छन्
सरकार ढल्छ कि भन्नेहरूले कारबाही नगरेको
अहिलेका नेताहरू सबै एकदम भ्रष्टाचारीहरू हुन थाले उनीहरूले आफूहरू पनि मुछिन्छ भन्ने डरको कारणले
ठुला नेताहरूलाई कारबाही नहुनु भनेको सत्ता गिर्नु यताउति भन्ने खेलहरू यी अनेकले गर्दाखेरि
ब्युरोक्रेट्स र सरकारका मिलमतमा भ्रष्टाचार भइरहेछ त्यही भएर अहिलेका समयमा सरकार नरम छन्
नेताहरू आफै भ्रष्ट भएको कारण चाहिँ अहिलेको कारबाहीमा चाहिँ उद्धार देखिएको
सानालाई मात्रै ऐन ठुलालाई चयन भइरहेको अवस्थाहरू छ
भ्रष्टाचारको कारबाही गर्दा सरकार ढल्ने डरले होला
एउटाले कारबाही गर्यो भने फेरि अर्कोचोटि सरकारमा जाँदा फेरि अर्कोले अर्कोलाई कारबाही गर्ने हुन्छ त्यो कारणले आफू सेफ साइडमा बस्नाले चाहिँ एकले अर्कालाई बचाइरहेको
आफ्नो मान्छेहरू पनि फस्छन् भन्ने डर भयो आफू पनि फस्ने डर भयो त्यही कारण
डर तान्दा पर गर्किन्छ भने जस्तै गरी हामी पनि फस्छौं कि भन्ने डरमा परेका हुन्छौं।
ठूला नेताहरूलाई कारबाही गर्दाखेरि पार्टीहरुमा बिथोलिन जान्छ होला, सत्ता ढल्छ, पार्टी खलबलिन्छ, त्यही भएर
मिलिमतमा सरकार बन्या हुन्छ। अब सरकार भत्किन्छ कि भन्ने डरले चाहिँ सरकारले ठूला नेताहरूलाई कारबाही अगाडि बढाउन सक्दैन।
माधव नेपाल वा बाबुरामलाई कारबाही गर्दाखेरि कुनै दिन आफ्नो पनि पालो आउँछ भन्ने भयले नेताहरूले भ्रष्टाचारमा परेका नेताहरूलाई जोगाउने गरेका छन्।
At least 8 people have died while 17 others were injured after a bus travelling from Kathmandu to Beni met with an unfortunate accident at Dhating. The bus with the registration number Province 301005 Kha 9952 plunged into the Trishuli River near Gazuri along the Prithvi Highway. 8 passengers were killed on the spot. Of them, 6 have been identified. Police have said that the accident could have been caused because of speeding in a narrow road section. 14 injured have been brought to Kathmandu for treatment. 9 are undergoing treatment at the trauma center. According to the hospital, 3 of them are in a critical condition while others are stable. 5 others are being treated at other hospitals in Kathmandu. A total of 25 passengers were on board the ill-fated vehicle. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has expressed grief towards the accident and wished for a speedy recovery for those undergoing treatment. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we asked, why have former Prime Ministers not been made defendants in the Lalita Niwas land grab scam? 64% voted for A, to protect them, 23% voted for B, fear of being caught, and 13% voted for C, not considered necessary. And now here is our today's question. What should be done to reduce dependence on food grains? Your options are A, increase production, B, commercialize agriculture, and C, farmers-friendly policy. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The Kathmandu Metropolis has been prioritizing urban beautification and several social aspects. The KMC has been holding tree plantation and managing wires to ensure the beautification of the city alongside providing respite to the public in terms of education and health sectors. However, the Kathmandu residents and experts have shared their concerns regarding the works of the metropolis without long-term plans. Vehicular movement at Basantapur Darbar Square area, a World Heritage Site, had put the heritages of archaeological significance at risk and had created challenges for the tourists as well. The KMC had prohibited the entry of vehicles in the area for this reason. Arrangements of drinking water were also made for the visitors. Shops were also removed from the Asan Indrachok area to facilitate the pedestrians. The KMC has also managed basement parking and has set a maximum of 15 rupees per hour for two-wheelers and 40 rupees for four-wheelers. Removing the advertisement boards against the criteria, the KMC has also brought them under tax revenue system. Meanwhile, the Kathmandu Metropolis has also introduced the Book Free Friday program at community schools to provide skills-related training programs to students, while it has ensured 10% scholarships at private schools for target groups. In the health sector, the KMC has implemented the government policy of 10 free beds at hospitals. The KMC has claimed that around 700 hospitals of the metropolis have begun allocating 10 beds for the target groups. In addition to these steps, the KMC has also begun plantation and greenery program to make the city clean and beautiful. The city administration has also banned the use of plastics thinner than 40 microns from this fiscal year. The KMC has been operating a call center to hear the public grievances and providing legal consultations as well. However, while making progresses in social aspects, the KMC's long-term plans have yet to gain momentum. In the past fiscal year, the KMC has managed 30 trucks of wires and removed more than 16,000 unauthorized structures for protection of public properties. The KMC has also claimed that it has heard 1,652 complaints, while it has provided legal consultations to 10,000 in the period of 5 months in collaboration with Nepal Law Campus. The KMC is also busy in its efforts to conserve the encroached rivers of the city. Time now for the international news. An Indian spacecraft landed on the moon earlier this evening in a mission seen as crucial to lunar exploration and India standing as a space power. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi waved the Indian flag as he watched the landing from South Africa, where he is attending the BRICS summit. Scientists and officials clapped, cheered and hugged each other in the control room as the spacecraft landed and as the government now looks to spur investment in private space launches and related satellite-based businesses. This was India's second attempt to land a spacecraft on the moon and comes less than a week after Russia's Luna 25 mission, which actually failed.
Sports News.
An all-round performance from Indu Verma has helped the Nepali Eves secure a 34-run win over Kuwait at the Women's 2020 International Series involving 4 nations. In the match played at the Biomass Cricket Ground in Malaysia, Nepal were put to bat where they were limited to 89 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 20 overs. Bindu Rawal scored 20 runs while Indu Verma top scored with 23.